everything that they're doing.
And that's the one thing that you work pretty rigorously to avoid.
Yeah.
And I got to figure that's got to be really attractive to you, too, to know that these people are going to be who they are in the moment, and we have to live with them as an audience. And that it's not over-explained.
When do you see 11-minute, 15-minute scenes sustain themselves like this? What's the longest scene in this film?
Probably the
opening?
tavern. I would say the tavern, probably.
How long?
It's about 30 minutes.
But that kind of detail, I mean, it humanizes the whole kit and caboodle.
But it's all built on what's happening in that moment.
Use that word.
A lot of metaphor mixing here, but that's okay. But it's that thing about living in the moment, which is so much what your movies are, about things happening at that time, and that those details you're talking about build to those moments.
Well, I mean, I think there's an integrity in my work that you don't have expositional kind of stuff. And now as a writer, you do actually need to explain a few things. And so part of my plan, my method, is to bury it in so much minutia about nothing that you don't realize you're being told an important plot point until it becomes important. The few times that I actually did have to do it in this movie, because you know what? There was an aspect about making an adventure film. At a couple of times, I actually had to explain the plot a little bit to get you to the next point. And in both of those cases, which is like the Mike Myers scene and then the scene in the vet, I'm almost doing a parody on exposition scenes. Okay, no, we are copying that this is an exposition scene, and we're going to do a great one, but it is an exposition scene.
Was that a concern of yours? Because it's a lot to take. It's a lot to take in with all the dramatic stuff that's going on.
I think if you're going to go to Nebraska, you got to go all the way.
I should go with Kit and Caboodle. I mean, you can do a whole book of these things at this point.
I'm in my...
He's starting to channel Aldo a little bit, all right.
My country themes.
But since you're talking about all this, what do you guys say when people ask you what the movie's about? I mean, what do you say?
I actually loved it when you were on the Charlie Rose show about Benjamin Button, and Charlie Rose goes, "So I hear you're doing a movie about World War II." Well, it takes place during World War II. I don't know if it's necessarily about World War II.
It's fair. To me, it's the cap on the Nazi-focused film. It's just to end all films. Yeah. Where else are you going to go?
That's one of the things that That's one of the things that Christoph said. He goes, "I think Quentin has killed the German Nazi film for all time."
Seal it, done.
And that's a good place then. And now we're done.
All right.
Thanks, mate.